D. Question 5. Which of the following is not a key component of labeling for pharmaceutical products? A. Drug identification. B. Dosage instructions. C. Pharmacological formula. D. Storage conditions. Answer. Circa. Question 6. The purpose of indicating contraindications on drug labels is to A. Encourage off-label use. B. Highlight potential side effects. C. Provide dosage instructions. D. Specify approved indications. Answer. D. Question 7. Why are usage warnings and precautions prominently displayed on drug labels? A. To encourage higher dosages. B. To promote the drug's benefits. C. To alert users to potential risks. D. To increase sales. Answer. Circa. Question 8. What role do GMP guidelines play in labeling and packaging practices? A. Ensuring proper storage conditions. B. Regulating international trade agreements. C. Dictating advertising practices. D. Ensuring overall quality and safety of pharmaceutical products. Answer. D. Question 9. Proper pharmaceutical packaging helps prevent A. Regulatory inspections. B. Medication expiration. C. Information dissemination. D. Healthcare professional education. Answer. B. Question 10. The Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986, mandate the inclusion of which of the following on drug labels? A. Manufacturer's financial information. B. Active ingredient percentages. C. Dosage instructions. D. Political affiliations. Answer. Circa. Question 11. What is the role of regulatory authorities in the distribution phase of pharmaceuticals? A. Setting drug prices. B. Ensuring compliance with labeling guidelines. C. Providing medical consultations. D. Manufacturing medications. Answer. B. Question 12. What is the primary purpose of proper pharmaceutical packaging? A. Reducing medication cost. B. Ensuring patient compliance. C. Enhancing brand recognition. D. Maintaining product integrity and safety. Answer. D. Question 13. What is the primary objective of the Drugs Act of 1976 in relation to labeling and packaging? A. Encouraging off-label use. B. Enhancing medication availability. C. Ensuring patient safety and information dissemination. D. Reducing healthcare costs. Answer. Circa. Question 14. The Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986, emphasize the need for what type of information on drug labels? A. Personal anecdotes. B. Scientific research papers. C. Clear and accurate information. D. Marketing slogans. Answer. Circa. Question 15. What is the role of licensed pharmacists in the retail sale of pharmaceutical products? A. Manufacturing medications. B. Providing medical consultations. C. Ensuring proper storage conditions. D. Verifying prescriptions and educating patients. Answer. D. Question 16. What is the significance of indicating storage conditions on drug labels? A. Encouraging immediate consumption. B. Ensuring proper administration. C. Preventing contamination and degradation. D. Highlighting potential side effects. Answer. Circa. Question 17. Which of the following is not a key component of labeling as mentioned in the article? A. Drug identification. B. Dosage instructions. C. Adverse reactions. D. Storage conditions. Answer. Circa. Question 18. The primary purpose of proper packaging in the pharmaceutical industry is to A. Enhance brand recognition. B. Reduce manufacturing costs. C. Maintain product integrity and safety. D. Expedite distribution. Answer. Circa. Question 19. Which rules provide detailed guidance on drug labeling and packaging in the pharmaceutical sector? A. Drug Distribution and Sale Rules, 1976. B. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. C. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. D. Drug Research and Development Rules, 1986. Answer. Circa. Question 20. What role do Good Manufacturing Practices (GMP) guidelines play in ensuring proper labeling and packaging? A. Regulating drug prices. B. Setting manufacturing standards. C. Ensuring overall quality and safety. D. Promoting off-label use. Answer. Circa. Question 21. The primary goal of labeling and packaging in the pharmaceutical sector is to A. Increase medication sales. B. Enhance brand recognition. C. Ensure patient safety and information dissemination. D. Expedite the distribution process. Answer. Circa. Question 22. Why is it important to include dosage instructions on drug labels? A. To promote higher dosages. B. To highlight potential side effects. C. To guide proper medication use. D. To reduce medication availability. Answer. Circa. Question 23. The Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986, specify the inclusion of which of the following on drug labels? A. Manufacturer's political affiliations. B. Personal testimonials. C. Indications for off-label use. D. Dosage instructions and precautions. Answer. D. Question 24. The role of regulatory authorities in drug labeling and packaging is to A. Expedite distribution. B. Ensure proper storage conditions. C. Enhance medication availability. D. Ensure compliance with established regulations. Answer. D. Question 25. The primary purpose of providing usage warnings and precautions on drug labels is to A. Promote the medication's benefits. B. Encourage off-label use. C. Alert users to potential risks. D. Increase sales. Answer. Circa. Question 26. What is the primary function of pharmaceutical packaging? A. Reducing medication cost. B. Enhancing brand recognition. C. Maintaining product integrity and safety. D. Expedited distribution. Answer. Circa. Question 27. The primary objective of labeling and packaging regulations is to A. Reduce healthcare costs. B. Ensure patient safety and information dissemination. C. Expedite the distribution process. D. Encourage off-label use. Answer. B. Question 28. The Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986, emphasize the need for accurate and underscore information on drug labels and packaging. A. Complex. B. Misleading. C. Easily comprehensible. D. Jargon-filled. Answer. Circa. Question 29. Licensed pharmacists play a pivotal role in the retail sale of pharmaceuticals by A. Manufacturing medications. B. Providing medical consultations. C. Ensuring proper storage conditions. D. Verifying prescriptions and educating patients. Answer. D. Question 30. The primary purpose of indicating storage conditions on drug labels is to A. Encourage immediate consumption. B. Ensure proper administration. C. Prevent contamination and degradation. D. Highlight potential side effects. Answer. Circa. Question 9. Read carefully the topic, Advancing Medicine Through Rigorous Clinical Trials and Research, Clinical Trials and Research under the Drugs Act, 1976, and answer the related MCQs. The field of healthcare and medicine is characterized by its relentless pursuit of innovation and improvement. At the heart of these advancements lies the critical process of clinical trials and research, which serves as the foundation for the development, evaluation, and approval of new pharmaceutical products. In Pakistan, the Drugs Act of 1976 plays a pivotal role in regulating clinical trials and research activities, ensuring that they adhere to rigorous standards of ethics, safety, and scientific integrity. This comprehensive article delves into the intricate realm of clinical trials and research, under the ambit of the Drugs Act, 1976, and the meticulously devised rules that govern these essential facets. By exploring the significance, guidelines, and pivotal role of this regulatory framework, this article underscores the paramount importance of responsible and ethical research practices in shaping the landscape of modern medicine. Clinical trials. The cornerstone of medical progress. Clinical trials are systematic investigations conducted to evaluate the safety, efficacy, and benefits of new pharmaceutical products before they are made available to the public. These trials involve human participants and are designed to provide reliable and evidence-based data to inform medical decisions. The Drugs Act of 1976 recognizes the central role of clinical trials in ensuring that new drugs meet rigorous standards of quality, safety, and effectiveness. Key aspects of clinical trials. Informed consent. Ethical clinical trials prioritize the well-being and autonomy of participants. The Act emphasizes obtaining informed and voluntary consent from participants, ensuring they understand the purpose, risks, benefits, and procedures of the trial. Ethical review. Regulatory authorities, institutional review boards (IRBs), and ethics committees play a crucial role in reviewing and approving clinical trial protocols to ensure they meet ethical and scientific standards. Patient safety. The Act places a strong emphasis on participant safety, mandating measures to minimize risks and adverse events during the trial. Protocols must include plans for monitoring and reporting adverse reactions. Data integrity. Rigorous data collection, recording, and analysis are essential to maintain the integrity of clinical trial results. The Act requires accurate and transparent documentation to support the validity of findings. Research. Advancing medical knowledge through scientific inquiry. Research is a foundational component of medical progress, contributing to the understanding of diseases, treatments, and healthcare interventions. The Drugs Act of 1976 acknowledges the significance of research in driving medical knowledge forward and promotes a framework that ensures research is conducted ethically, transparently, and in the best interests of public health. Ethical research guidelines. Human dignity and rights. Research involving human participants must uphold the principles of respect for human dignity, autonomy, and rights. The Act mandates that research protocols protect participants from physical, psychological, and social harm. Scientific integrity. Research must be conducted with scientific rigor, adhering to established methods, principles, and protocols. The Act discourages falsification, fabrication, and manipulation of research data. Transparency and reporting. The Act mandates transparency in reporting research findings, including accurate representation of results and potential conflicts of interest. Researchers must publish or disseminate research outcomes for peer review and public knowledge. Regulations framed under the Drugs Act, 1976. Drug Research and Development Rules, 1986. These rules outline the procedures and requirements for conducting clinical trials and research involving pharmaceutical products. They specify the responsibilities of researchers, ethical considerations, and reporting obligations. Ethical considerations and participant protection. Clinical trials and research conducted under the Drugs Act, 1976, prioritize participant protection, informed consent, and ethical practices. Researchers must follow established guidelines to ensure the well-being and rights of participants. Scientific validity and integrity. The Act and its accompanying rules emphasize the importance of conducting research with scientific validity and integrity. Research protocols must adhere to rigorous scientific methodologies and principles, contributing to medical advancement and public health. In conclusion, clinical trials and research serve as the bedrock upon which medical progress is built. The Drugs Act of 1976, alongside its rules, provides a robust regulatory framework that fosters responsible and ethical clinical trials and research practices. By upholding standards of informed consent, participant safety, scientific integrity, and transparency, this framework contributes to the advancement of medical knowledge, the development of safe and effective pharmaceutical products, and the overall betterment of public health. As future professionals in the healthcare and pharmaceutical domains, understanding and adhering to these regulations are vital to upholding the principles of ethical research, ensuring participant welfare, and driving meaningful contributions to the field of medicine. Related 29 MCQs. Question 1. Clinical trials and research are essential for the development, evaluation, and approval of A. Medical equipment. B. Public health policies. C. New pharmaceutical products. D. Surgical procedures. Answer. Circa. Question 2. The Drugs Act of 1976 in Pakistan regulates A. Financial transactions in healthcare. B. Clinical trials and research activities. C. Medical education curriculum. D. Hospital administration. Answer. B. Question 3. What is the primary purpose of clinical trials? A. Marketing new drugs. B. Evaluating safety of food products. C. Investigating new surgical techniques. D. Evaluating safety and efficacy of new pharmaceutical products. Answer. D. Question 4. Informed consent in clinical trials ensures A. Minimal participation of patients. B. Financial compensation for participants. C. Participant autonomy and understanding of trial details. D. Exemption from potential risks. Answer. Circa. Question 5. Ethical review of clinical trial protocols is conducted by A. Regulatory authorities. B. Marketing departments. C. Participants' family members. D. Institutional review boards, ERBs, and ethics committees. Answer. D. Question 6. The Drugs Act of 1976 emphasizes participant safety in clinical trials to A. Reduce research costs. B. Expedite drug approval. C. Minimize risks and adverse events. D. Increase participant compensation. Answer. Circa. Question 7. Rigorous data collection and analysis in clinical trials are necessary to A. Expedite the trial process. B. Facilitate marketing strategies. C. Maintain the integrity of trial results. D. Ensure fast drug distribution. Answer. Circa. Question 8. The role of research in advancing medical knowledge includes A. Increasing healthcare costs. B. Enhancing patient participation. C. Investigating marketing strategies. D. Contributing to understanding diseases and treatments. Answer. D. Question 9. Ethical research guidelines prioritize the respect for a. Manufacturers' interests. B. Healthcare professionals' preferences. C. Human dignity, autonomy, and rights. D. Regulatory authorities' recommendations. Answer. Circa. Question 10. What does the Drugs Act of 1976 discourage in research activities? A. Peer review. B. Scientific rigor. C. Manipulation of research data. D. Reporting of adverse events. Answer. Circa. Question 11. Transparency in reporting research findings is important to a. Conceal potential conflicts of interest. B. Expedite the publication process. C. Enhance marketing efforts. D. Ensure accuracy and public knowledge. Answer. D. Question 12. Which rules specify the procedures for conducting clinical trials and research involving pharmaceutical products? A. Drug licensing, registering, and advertising rules, 1976. B. Drug import and export rules, 1976. C. Drug research and development rules, 1986. D. Drug labeling and packing rules, 1986. Answer. Circa. Question 13. The Drugs Act of 1976 and its rules prioritize participant protection, informed consent, and ethical practices during a. Drug manufacturing. B. Labeling and packaging. C. Clinical trials and research. D. Export of pharmaceutical products. Answer. Circa. Question 14. The scientific validity and integrity of research protocols are emphasized by the Act and its rules to a. Ensure fast drug distribution. B. Expedite the trial process. C. Enhance marketing strategies. D. Uphold research quality and reliability. Answer. D. Question 15. Clinical trials and research contribute to the advancement of medical knowledge and a. Increase pharmaceutical prices. B. Expedite drug approval processes. C. Minimize patient involvement. D. Develop safe and effective pharmaceutical products. Answer. D. Question 16. What is the primary purpose of informed consent in clinical trials? A. To guarantee financial compensation for participants. B. To ensure participants understand the trial's purpose and risks. C. To exempt participants from all trial-related risks. D. To expedite the trial process. Answer. B. Question 17. Institutional review boards (IRBs) and ethics committees are responsible for a. Conducting clinical trials. B. Marketing pharmaceutical products. C. Reviewing and approving clinical trial protocols. D. Distributing trial results to participants. Answer. Circa. Question 18. The Drugs Act of 1976 places a strong emphasis on participant safety to a. Increase the trial speed. B. Expedite drug approval. C. Minimize risks and adverse events. D. Reduce the costs of the trial. Answer. Circa. Question 19. What is the importance of data integrity in clinical trials? A. To increase marketing efforts. B. To expedite the trial process. C. To maintain the integrity of trial results. D. To reduce participant compensation. Answer. Circa. Question 20. The Drugs Act of 1976 encourages research that is conducted with a. Scientific rigor. B. Minimal participant involvement. C. Manufacturers' interests in mind. D. Lack of transparency. Answer. A. Question 21. What is the significance of transparency and reporting in research? A. To conceal potential conflicts of interest. B. To expedite the trial process. C. To enhance marketing strategies. D. To ensure accuracy and public knowledge. Answer: D. Question 22. Which rules specify the procedures and requirements for conducting clinical trials and research involving pharmaceutical products? A. Drug Licensing, Registering, and Advertising Rules, 1976. B. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. C. Drug Research and Development Rules, 1986. D. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. Answer: Circa. Question 23. The Drugs Act of 1976 and its rules prioritize participant protection, informed consent, and ethical practices during A. Drug manufacturing. B. Labeling and packaging. C. Clinical trials and research. D. Export of pharmaceutical products. Answer: Circa. Question 24. The scientific validity and integrity of research protocols are emphasized by the Act and its rules to A. Ensure fast drug distribution. B. Expedite the trial process. C. Enhance marketing strategies. D. Uphold research quality and reliability. Answer: D. Question 25. Clinical trials and research contribute to the advancement of medical knowledge and A. Increase pharmaceutical prices. B. Expedite drug approval processes. C. Minimize patient involvement. D. Develop safe and effective pharmaceutical products. Answer: D. Question 26. What is the primary purpose of informed consent in clinical trials? A. To guarantee financial compensation for participants. B. To ensure participants understand the trial's purpose and risks. C. To exempt participants from all trial-related risks. D. To expedite the trial process. Answer: B. Question 27. Institutional review boards (IRBs) and ethics committees are responsible for A. Conducting clinical trials. B. Marketing pharmaceutical products. C. Reviewing and approving clinical trial protocols. D. Distributing trial results to participants. Answer: Circa. Question 28. The Drugs Act of 1976 places a strong emphasis on participant safety to A. Increase the trial speed. B. Expedite drug approval. C. Minimize risks and adverse events. D. Reduce the costs of the trial. Answer: Circa. Question 29. What is the importance of data integrity in clinical trials? A. To increase marketing efforts. B. To expedite the trial process. C. To maintain the integrity of trial results. D. To reduce participant compensation. Answer: Circa. Question 10. Read carefully, Enforcement and Penalties under the Drugs Act, 1976, and answer the MCQs given at the end. Introduction. The Drugs Act of 1976 is a pivotal piece of legislation designed to combat the illicit trade and misuse of drugs in Pakistan. This act, along with the rules framed under it, plays a crucial role in regulating the manufacturing, distribution, sale, and possession of controlled substances. One of the key aspects of this regulatory framework is the enforcement mechanism and penalties established to deter and punish offenders. This article provides a comprehensive analysis of the enforcement provisions and penalties outlined in the Drugs Act, 1976, and the rules derived from it. Enforcement mechanism. The enforcement of the Drugs Act, 1976, is primarily carried out by the Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan (DRAP), which is responsible for implementing the provisions of the Act and ensuring compliance with its rules. The enforcement mechanism involves a collaborative effort among law enforcement agencies, regulatory bodies, and judicial institutions to curb drug-related offenses. DRAP, in coordination with other relevant authorities, conducts inspections, raids, and investigations to identify violations of the Act. Key enforcement provisions: manufacturing and distribution. The Drugs Act, 1976, regulates the manufacturing and distribution of drugs by establishing stringent licensing requirements for manufacturers, importers, and distributors. Violation of these licensing requirements can result in penalties ranging from fines to imprisonment. Sale and possession. Unauthorized sale or possession of controlled substances is a significant offense under the Act. The penalties for such offenses vary depending on the type and quantity of the drugs involved. Smuggling and trafficking. The Act also addresses the issue of drug smuggling and trafficking, which are serious offenses. Offenders involved in these activities face severe penalties, including lengthy prison terms and substantial fines. Counterfeit drugs. The Act prohibits the manufacture, sale, or distribution of counterfeit drugs. Those found guilty of producing or selling counterfeit drugs can face substantial fines and imprisonment. Penalties. Imprisonment. Offenders found guilty of drug-related offenses can be subjected to imprisonment for varying durations. The length of imprisonment depends on factors such as the nature and severity of the offense, the type and quantity of drugs involved, and the offender's criminal history. Fines. Monetary fines are a common form of penalty for violations of the Drugs Act, 1976. Fines are typically imposed in addition to imprisonment and serve as a deterrent to prevent future offenses. Confiscation of assets. The Act empowers the authorities to seize and confiscate assets derived from or used in drug-related offenses. This provision aims to disrupt the financial incentives of drug trafficking and trade. Enhanced penalties for repeat offenders. The Act includes provisions for enhanced penalties for repeat offenders, reflecting the gravity of recidivism in drug-related crimes. Conclusion. The Drugs Act, 1976, and its associated rules provide a comprehensive framework for regulating and controlling the misuse and illicit trade of drugs in Pakistan. The enforcement mechanisms and penalties outlined in the Act serve as a deterrent to individuals and entities engaged in drug-related offenses. By establishing a strong regulatory framework and imposing significant penalties, the Act aims to safeguard public health, prevent drug abuse, and deter criminal activities related to controlled substances. It is essential for law enforcement agencies, regulatory bodies, and the judicial system to work collaboratively to effectively enforce the provisions of the Act and ensure a drug-free society. Related MCQs. Question 1. What is the primary purpose of the Drugs Act of 1976 in Pakistan? A. Regulating healthcare services. B. Controlling environmental pollution. C. Combating illicit drug trade and misuse. D. Establishing tax regulations. Answer. C. Combating illicit drug trade and misuse. Question 2. Which regulatory body is primarily responsible for enforcing the Drugs Act, 1976? A. Ministry of Health. B. Drug Enforcement Administration (DIA). C. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan (DRAP). D. Pakistan Police Department. Answer. C. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan (DRAP). Question 3. The enforcement mechanism under the Drugs Act involves collaboration between A. International organizations only. B. Government and pharmaceutical companies. C. Law enforcement agencies, regulatory bodies, and judicial institutions. D. Foreign embassies and consulates. Answer. C. Law enforcement agencies, regulatory bodies, and judicial institutions. Question 4. What type of offenses does the Drugs Act focus on regulating? A. Traffic violations. B. Tax evasion. C. Drug-related offenses. D. Cybercrimes. Answer. C. Drug-related offenses. Question 5. Which of the following is not a key aspect of the regulatory framework established by the Drugs Act? A. Manufacturing. B. Distribution. C. Wildlife conservation. D. Possession. Answer. C. Wildlife conservation. Question 6. What penalties can result from violating the licensing requirements for manufacturers and distributors? A. Community service. B. Civil lawsuits. C. Fines and imprisonment. D. Public apology. Answer. C. Fines and imprisonment. Question 7. The penalties for unauthorized sale or possession of controlled substances vary based on A. The offender's political affiliation. B. The offender's age. C. The type and quantity of drugs involved. D. The offender's educational background. Answer. C. The type and quantity of drugs involved. Question 8. Which of the following offenses falls under the category of serious offenses in the article? A. Speeding violations. B. Drug trafficking and smuggling. C. Jaywalking. D. Noise pollution. Answer. B. Drug trafficking and smuggling. Question 9. What is the purpose of the provision allowing the authorities to confiscate assets in drug-related offenses? A. To reward informants. B. To support charitable organizations. C. To disrupt the financial incentives of drug trade. D. To fund political campaigns. Answer. C. To disrupt the financial incentives of drug trade. Question 10. Which group of individuals or entities does the Act aim to deter from drug-related offenses? A. Farmers. B. Medical professionals. C. Law enforcement officers. D. Individuals and entities. Answer. D. Individuals and entities. Question 11. What is the significance of the enhanced penalties for repeat offenders provision? A. It encourages repeat offenses. B. It reduces penalties for repeat offenders. C. It reflects the seriousness of recidivism in drug-related crimes. D. It only applies to first-time offenders. Answer. C. It reflects the seriousness of recidivism in drug-related crimes. Question 12. The primary goal of the Drugs Act of 1976 is to A. Promote drug tourism. B. Safeguard public health and prevent drug abuse. C. Encourage experimental drug use. D. Support drug manufacturers financially. Answer. B. Safeguard public health and prevent drug abuse. Question 13. Who is responsible for implementing the provisions of the Drugs Act and ensuring compliance with its rules? A. Drug dealers. B. Foreign diplomats. C. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan DRAP. D. International trade organizations. Answer. C. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan DRAP. Question 14. The enforcement mechanism under the Drugs Act involves collaboration among which entities? A. Celebrities and social media influencers. B. Law enforcement agencies, regulatory bodies, and judicial institutions. C. Art galleries and cultural organizations. D. Religious institutions and spiritual leaders. Answer. B. Law enforcement agencies, regulatory bodies, and judicial institutions. Question 15. What does DRAP conduct to identify violations of the Drugs Act? A. Advertising campaigns. B. Celebrity endorsements. C. Inspections, raids, and investigations. D. Fashion shows and events. Answer: C. Inspections, raids, and investigations. Question 16. What is the primary focus of the Manufacturing and Distribution provisions of the Drugs Act? A. Regulating food production. B. Controlling vehicle manufacturing. C. Regulating drug manufacturing and distribution. D. Monitoring electronic gadget production. Answer: C. Regulating drug manufacturing and distribution. Question 17. Which offenses under the Drugs Act can result in penalties of fines and imprisonment? A. Skipping school. B. Unauthorized sale or possession of controlled substances. C. Littering. D. Wearing mismatched socks. Answer: B. Unauthorized sale or possession of controlled substances. Question 18. What do offenders involved in drug smuggling and trafficking face under the Drugs Act? A. Verbal warnings. B. Educational workshops. C. Severe penalties, including lengthy prison terms and substantial fines. D. Free vacations. Answer: C. Severe penalties, including lengthy prison terms and substantial fines. Question 19. What is the consequence of manufacturing or selling counterfeit drugs under the Act? A. Community service. B. A written apology. C. Substantial fines and imprisonment. D. A warning letter. Answer: C. Substantial fines and imprisonment. Question 20. What factors determine the length of imprisonment for drug-related offenses? A. The offender's favorite color. B. The offender's culinary skills. C. The nature and severity of the offense, type and quantity of drugs, and criminal history. D. The offender's horoscope. Answer: C. The nature and severity of the offense, type and quantity of drugs, and criminal history. Question 21. What is the purpose of imposing monetary fines for violations of the Drugs Act? A. To fund luxury vacations for offenders. B. To serve as a deterrent to prevent future offenses. C. To encourage more violations. D. To reward offenders. Answer: B. To serve as a deterrent to prevent future offenses. Question 22. What is the primary goal of the provision for confiscating assets in drug-related offenses? A. To fund political campaigns. B. To support artistic endeavors. C. To disrupt the financial incentives of drug trafficking and trade. D. To encourage more drug-related offenses. Answer: C. To disrupt the financial incentives of drug trafficking and trade. Question 23. Why are enhanced penalties imposed for repeat offenders under the Act? A. To encourage repeat offenses. B. To support the entertainment industry. C. To address the shortage of prisoners. D. To reflect the gravity of recidivism in drug-related crimes. Answer: D. To reflect the gravity of recidivism in drug-related crimes. Question 24. What is the overarching purpose of the Drugs Act and its associated penalties? A. To promote drug use for medical research. B. To discourage healthcare practitioners from prescribing medication. C. To safeguard public health, prevent drug abuse, and deter criminal activities related to controlled substances. D. To encourage drug experimentation. Answer: C. To safeguard public health, prevent drug abuse, and deter criminal activities related to controlled substances. Question 25. Who needs to collaborate effectively to ensure the enforcement of the provisions of the Drugs Act? A. Sports teams and athletes. B. Entertainment industry professionals. C. Law enforcement agencies, regulatory bodies, and the judicial system. D. Social media influencers. Answer. C. Law enforcement agencies, regulatory bodies, and the judicial system. Question 26. What is the central theme of the article? A. The benefits of drug legalization. B. The history of pharmaceutical companies. C. The role of celebrities in drug regulation. D. Enforcement and penalties under the Drugs Act, 1976. Answer. D. Enforcement and penalties under the Drugs Act, 1976. Question 27. What is the primary focus of the sale and possession provisions of the Drugs Act? A. Regulating real estate transactions. B. Controlling vehicle ownership. C. Regulating the sale and possession of controlled substances. D. Monitoring electronic gadgets. Answer. C. Regulating the sale and possession of controlled substances. Question 28. What is the primary goal of the Drugs Act of 1976 in relation to drug trafficking and trade? A. To encourage drug smuggling. B. To provide financial incentives for drug traffickers. C. To disrupt drug trafficking and trade by imposing severe penalties. D. To support drug traffickers financially. Answer. C. To disrupt drug trafficking and trade by imposing severe penalties. Question 29. What penalties can offenders of drug-related offenses face other than imprisonment? A. Participation in community service projects. B. Writing an apology letter. C. Creating artwork for public display. D. Monetary fines. Answer. D. Monetary fines. Question 30. How does the Act aim to discourage repeat offenses? A. By offering rewards to repeat offenders. B. By providing free legal representation. C. By imposing enhanced penalties for repeat offenders. D. By ignoring repeat offenses. Answer. C. By imposing enhanced penalties for repeat offenders. Question 11. Read the article, Controlled Substances and Prohibited Substances under the Drugs Act, 1976, carefully, and answer the MCQs given at the end. Introduction. Brief overview of the pharmaceutical industry's role in public health. Introduction to the Drugs Act of 1976 in Pakistan and its significance in regulating pharmaceutical substances. Importance of controlled and prohibited substances regulations in ensuring public health and safety. Controlled substances. Definition of controlled substances and their significance. Categorization of drugs into different schedules based on potential for misuse and abuse. Stricter controls on substances with higher potential for abuse. Examples of controlled substances: narcotics, psychotropic drugs, and their implications. Measures to prevent unauthorized distribution and use of controlled substances. Prohibited substances. Definition and significance of prohibited substances. Types of substances that are prohibited under the Drugs Act, 1976. Reasons for prohibiting certain substances, health risks, potential for abuse, etc. Consequences of manufacturing, importing, or distributing prohibited substances. Rules and regulations. Overview of the rules framed under the Drugs Act, 1976. Drug import and export rules, 1976. Regulations for importing and exporting pharmaceutical products. Narcotic substances rules, 2001. Guidelines for the import, export, sale, and possession of narcotics. Psychotropic substances rules, 2003. Control and regulation of psychotropic substances. Drug labeling and packing rules, 1986. Guidelines for proper labeling and packaging of pharmaceutical products. Ethical considerations in the distribution and sale of controlled and prohibited substances. Enforcement and penalties. Measures for enforcing controlled and prohibited substances regulations. Regulatory authorities responsible for monitoring and enforcement. Penalties for violations of the Drugs Act, 1976 and its associated rules. Importance of deterring illegal activities through strict enforcement. Public health and safety. Emphasis on protecting public health and safety through controlled and prohibited substances regulations. How these regulations contribute to preventing misuse, abuse, and potential harm. Role of healthcare professionals, pharmacists, and the pharmaceutical industry in upholding these regulations. Recap of key points discussed in the lecture. Importance of controlled and prohibited substances regulations in safeguarding public health. Encouragement for adherence to ethical practices and regulatory guidelines. Call to action for future professionals to contribute to a responsible and safe pharmaceutical industry. Related MCQs. Question 1. What is the primary purpose of categorizing drugs into different schedules? A. To determine their brand names. B. To assess their manufacturing costs. C. To identify their generic names. D. To regulate their potential for misuse and abuse. Correct answer. Question 2. Controlled substances with a higher potential for abuse are subject to A. Less strict controls. B. Stricter controls. Correct answer. C. No controls. D. Voluntary controls. Question 3. Which term refers to substances that are regulated to prevent unauthorized distribution and use? A. Uncontrolled substances. B. Regulated substances. C. Controlled substances. D. Prohibited substances. Correct answer. Question 4. What are the implications of controlled substances? A. They are easily accessible to the public. B. They have no potential for misuse. C. They are subject to strict regulations. Correct answer. D. They are exempt from labeling requirements. Question 5. Prohibited substances. Prohibited substances are defined under the Drugs Act, 1976, due to A. Their high manufacturing cost. B. Their potential for misuse and abuse. C. Their availability in abundance. D. Their lack of therapeutic value. Correct answer. Question 6. What are the potential consequences of manufacturing, importing, or distributing prohibited substances? A. No consequences, as they are allowed for research purposes. B. Legal recognition and protection. C. Legal penalties and consequences. Correct answer. D. Financial incentives from regulatory authorities. Question 7. Rules and regulations. Which set of rules provides guidelines for importing and exporting pharmaceutical products? A. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. B. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. Correct answer. C. Narcotic Substances Rules, 2001. D. Psychotropic Substances Rules, 2003. Question 8. What is the primary focus of the Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986? A. Import and export procedures. B. Clinical trial regulations. C. Proper labeling and packaging of pharmaceutical products. Correct answer. D. Ethical considerations in drug distribution. Question 9. The Narcotic Substances Rules, 2001, provide guidelines for A. Quality control in pharmaceutical manufacturing. B. Ethical conduct in clinical trials. C. Import, export, sale, and possession of narcotics. Correct answer. D. Proper labeling of over-the-counter medications. Question 10. Which rules outline the control and regulation of psychotropic substances? Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. B. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. C. Psychotropic Substances Rules, 2003. Correct answer. D. Narcotic Substances Rules, 2001. Question 11. Enforcement and penalties. What is the role of regulatory authorities in controlled substances enforcement? To promote unauthorized distribution. B. To ensure strict penalties for violations. C. To monitor and enforce regulations. Correct answer. D. To encourage misuse of controlled substances. Question 12. Violations of the Drugs Act, 1976 and its associated rules can result in no consequences for offenders. B. Strict penalties and consequences. Correct answer. C. Public recognition and rewards. D. Exemption from regulatory oversight. Question 13. Public health and safety. How do controlled and prohibited substances regulations contribute to preventing misuse and abuse? By increasing availability of such substances. B. By minimizing public health risks. C. By promoting unrestricted access. D. By encouraging recreational use. Question 14. The role of healthcare professionals, pharmacists, and the pharmaceutical industry is crucial in promoting misuse of controlled substances. B. Bypassing regulatory authorities. C. Upholding controlled substances regulations. Correct answer. D. Ignoring public health concerns. Question 15. What is the primary objective of the Controlled Substances and Prohibited Substances regulations? To maximize profits for pharmaceutical companies. B. To ensure public health and safety. Correct answer. C. To restrict access to all medications. D. To prioritize financial gains over ethical considerations. Question 16. Why is it important to encourage adherence to ethical practices and regulatory guidelines? To increase administrative workload. B. To create unnecessary obstacles for researchers. C. To ensure responsible and safe pharmaceutical practices. Correct answer. D. To promote and regulated distribution of drugs. Question 17. What is the significance of a call to action for future professionals? It has no impact on the pharmaceutical industry. B. It promotes irresponsible behavior. C. It encourages future professionals to contribute responsibly to the pharmaceutical industry. Correct answer. D. It suggests avoiding legal compliance. Note: whole of the above lecture is also available in written text form in the comments under this video at our YouTube channel, Pharmacy Jobs and MCQs. So, you can take or study the lecture in the comments. Kind regards, Dr. Majid Body Pharmacist, PharmD, MPhil, LLB. Vice President, Pakistan Pharmacists Association PPA Punjab, 2023 to 2025. Contact, +92 3214042036. Thank you.